There we go. Right. Here we go. Let's get started, team. I'll just have the chat up here. And yeah, let's get started. So, couple of changes which I've done, just to obviously help everybody. You can be a bit more aggressive if you want to, but obviously, I have honed our five entries into three now. All right. So I am looking at everything. I'm, monitoring everything, but I only want to pick the sort of the three best. Remember we're taking everything the same way as the dollar, and we want the highest probability possible. So like yesterday morning we had three, the afternoon we had three, this morning we've got three. So there was one yesterday, Euro USD. I could have probably left that one out. But obviously, yeah, all in all, I'm only going to put the highest probability pairs in, so that's one slight adjustment that I'm gonna make. Anyway, right, let's have a look at what has been happening. What do we do every single day? We click on the dollar chart, the DXY. This should be everybody's first chart that they look at. You shouldn't be worried about anything else where anything else is. Look at the dollar. Where is it? All right. And then obviously we then want to work out, right, where is it going to potentially go to? We know that it loves a good round number. So that's right. Let's just click this here and go up one. There we go. So that is our potential target. Right. So, as you can see here, dollar wise, all right, are we going to be looking to buy the dollar right now? All right. Are we going to be looking to buy the dollar right now? Probably not. All right. Why? Because we're clearly trending to the downside here. Yeah. All right. We've clearly broken this level of support and we broke it clean. 98,500 broke that clean and it's continuing. So it looks like, we work on probabilities here. All right. That's the only thing that separates traders from gamblers. You can edge your probability. All right. So the highest probability is that 98 is going to get caught as opposed to 98,500. All right. Because that's, we've not even come back and retested it here. We've just continued straight away. All right. So these are all the things that we've got to be looking at all the time. What are the highest probability outlooks of, our kind of trading position? All right. So this, it doesn't matter what pair, how you utilize it. We want to be, selling the dollar. All right, very, very easy, very, very simple. We don't need to worry about any, indicators, nothing. All right, we can see here plain and clear. Dollar is, selling off. So obviously, why are we going to be looking to buy it? All right. Yes, there'll be lots of crazies out there who would have been caught or be in a bit of drawdown. They'd have thought, right, you know what, we've had one touch here, we've had another touch here. Surely it's going to be touch number three. No, all right, we don't trade like that. We go through trend. We obviously map out our, levels. We want to make sure we're on the right track. All right. So this is the first thing you do every single morning. All right. You wake up or the afternoon before you're going to place a trade. Where is the dollar? All right. Very, very easy. That's tick number one. All right. Then we're going to click on yields here. All right. Where are yields? Because this is the big money flowing in. All right. Now, yields obviously are a bit and have been a bit all over the place. I might do a video on yields today. But obviously, like the dollar, we gapped up, market open. However, we have not, we've crushed, through this. So I'm a little bit intermittent here on yields. I do think this level here is going to hold. We're kind of, if we look at this on a bit of a higher time frame, yes, it's not looking the best, but obviously it is still trending to the upside, So there is no real clean time frame, potentially 4 hour. We obviously had that equal high here, tailing off. But I do think I like two levels in regards to yields, and we can mark these up. One is this one here. All right. So I think we're kind of in a downtrend, but we're in a weak downtrend at the moment. If these two break, if this area breaks, if this box breaks through, and obviously we end up crushing through here and potentially targeting these levels here, which I don't think will happen, but if that's what ends up happening, then obviously yes, the dollar, will obviously follow, and we could be looking to targeting these areas right the way back down and be down in sort of areas where we were in January, February. So it'll be quite interesting to see what happens. But obviously, majority of this is due to the de-escalation, escalation, de-escalation. I think it's all been hyped that it's been escalated again. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but hopefully it's not. So, but obviously as markets are, seeing there's a little bit of risk appetite. All right. There's a little bit of risk appetite here. You see markets open to the downside. All right. On Monday, but they've recovered. All right. So there's a little bit of risk appetite. Funds are kind of starting to dip their toe in the water. All right, and obviously that's what we want. Remember, like everything, everyone forgets about stock markets. All right, stock markets have been at all-time highs. Okay, all-time highs. Yeah, if we look at this on a monthly, this is the US 30, the top 30 companies in the US, how they've been performing. It's just like the gold chart, right? But no one realizes, no one utilizes it. All right. But this is what's going to, give you that idea of risk. Yeah. All right. So, this is obviously what we've got to be, looking at. And obviously, if there's risk sort of this week coming back into the market slightly, we want to break above, then obviously that's a good thing. And we can kind of see behind the, scenes, obviously social media and, mainstream media paint this picture. All right. But obviously we can, the guys trading, the guys running big companies, they're obviously not watching, mainstream media. They are where, what obviously, is running mainstream media, So if the stock market is starting to pump, then, we should be pretty confident that it's a little bit more of an affluent market. So we've just obviously got to be aware of that. So I've got a bit carried away on those. Anyway, we don't have a lot coming up today. We got some PPI data a bit later on. That's going to be a bit more of an inflation gauge. Lots of speakers, but apart from that, not a lot else. So there's going to be a bit of tonality, in regards to what is happening. We do have some ADP and P employment. I don't think that's going to really factor in too much. We've got obviously ECB, Lane speaking. We've got Governor Bailey speaking. Chairman Barr, Vice Chairman Barr speaking. So we've got lots and lots of speakers here. So it'd be interesting to see what everyone is speaking about and why. So looking into the pairs that we were trading, GBP USD is following pretty much Euro. So that's why I wasn't really interested in it too much. Euro, same thing. We obviously chose to enter this trade. However, I was just hoping for a little bit of a retest of this area. We woke up this morning. We go 2 hours. Had this pump late on in the US. Had consolidation during Asia. Wanted a bit more of a fake out. I was expecting potentially just this top entry to be tapped potentially into this area, and then this continuation. However, that has not happened. We've just continued. So obviously most things are off the table. AD USD very very close and similar. Had this pump, late yesterday afternoon. All right, had consolidation during Asia. Right, was expecting this pullback into this area here. Didn't get it. We were very, very close, and then obviously just taken off. And gold too, same thing. Had this pump. Was expecting a little bit more of a slow down. Wanted this area to get tapped, but we've obviously had this pump, so we've kind of been left behind this morning. No trades for me this morning. The copier will still be running, but obviously no trades from me this morning. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens here. I'm pretty excited coming into this afternoon we will be turning it up a bit and going a bit more aggressive. So let's wait and see. USDJPY, pretty horrible price action, right now, as you can see here, it's just, moving sideways. So it's a consolidation market here. Pretty easy to trade if that's how you want to trade it, but obviously it's not the market that I like to trade. So yeah, that's why we stayed out of it today. Right, does anyone have any questions? Oh, we got a few here. Right, Alex, good morning. Well, both from Alex. Out of all the history you have with this strategy, what is more profitable session, London or US? I haven't actually worked that one out yet. So I haven't worked that one out. Depends on, markets. It isn't so much, sessions because obviously you have, I'll do a video on that as well. You tend to get a bit of a tend to get a slower movement during Asia. You might get Asia is the dominant, kind of session. So if we look at Asia, for example, yesterday, I mean, this is probably going to be a terrible example. So if we look at Asia yesterday, say for example, this one here. All right. Actually, this is going to be a good example. So we'll look at Asia here. All right. This box here's Asia. All right. Monday's Asia. Now if we go through the time frames here, all right, we'll go through like a 15-minute. Obviously Asia's marked its highs. Asia has ended here. Yeah. All right. So we've marked our Asia bottom, Asia top. All right. You can just trade Asia. All right. But what's ended up happening here? London, nothing, has happened during, London, New York come up, test Asia. All right. Asia high rejected. All right, tested Asia, low, because if we move this to where it actually is, tested Asia low, rejected, pumped up. Right, as soon as it breaks through, it's gone. Yeah. All right, but obviously that's Asia is such a powerful trading session, but it all depends. London will do different things depending on what Asia does. The US will do different things depending on what London does. So that's obviously how you've got to be looking at it. Alex, could you explain in short what the yen intervention means? Is it still happening? So let's have a look at this. I did do a video on this, so I will get that one up. I'm pretty sure it's on my YouTube actually. So have a scroll up and have a look through. But yeah, so yen is only going to have an intervention if it's approaching these areas here. All right, because basically, obviously, Japan they import all of their energy or majority of their energy, since obviously the Hiroshima incident, they've obviously not spent a lot of time, effort, or money on creating their own energy. So obviously they have, yes, they obviously import a lot of energy. They import lots of stuff. All right. What do they buy this imported stuff in? They buy in US dollars. All right. So naturally, obviously, if the dollar's high, everything becomes a lot more expensive. So it's the only currency really, apart from Swiss, and sometimes on a rare occasion, one occasion, that they can control it. They'll just buy yen. All right, so they need it to stay below that one, 160. But obviously, that they need it to, stay around that area. If we zoom out on a chart here, that's why, USD JPY, yes, it's been a lot higher. But obviously, they would obviously prefer it a bit, lower. So it isn't definitely happening this intervention. It's just rumors and potential expectations. Um, oh, cheers, Thomas. Appreciate that. Well, what we'll do on YouTube, we'll probably link this video anyway. So, but no, really, really, really appreciate that. Have you ever tried Asia session with this strategy? Maybe not on a Sunday evening. I'd stay out of Asia. I've got too many horrible memories of when I was not profitable, going to bed, having trades open. I don't want that. I'm fully aware that I'm a London and US, session trader. It doesn't mean I can't trade Asia. It means that I appreciate the fact that my brain needs to be switched on. And if I haven't had as much sleep because I'm trying to be greedy, I'm trying to push, then I'm not going to be as productive as successful during my prime times. So that's obviously what you've got to identify. I know traders who could trade Asia and they don't bother trading anything else. So but I know probably more most profitable traders do only trade one trading, session. And I think if I had my way when I retire, when I, hang my hat up, it will be that I'll probably only trade, London. I think my ideal strategy, if I could paint a picture, would be Euro USD, GBP USD, and it'll be trading London only. And it would be like, yeah, I probably wouldn't. Well, I'd have a lot more strict instructions, and I would only probably take, yeah, a few trades a week, but that would be plenty for me to yeah, live a very very happy life. So that will be my end goal, and potentially in 10 years, because I've got no intention of ever stopping trading. I want to be trading when I'm 80. But obviously my strategy will change. HT, what is your strategy for gold today? Do you think it's going to go up to 48.04 New York high Thursday? I don't really look at it like that. I tend to look at it as, right, let's just have a look here. So I tend I'm obviously an intraday trader, all right? I'm not going to pluck, levels out the, sky. This was obviously my target because I wanted to target this area here. All right, we've obviously had a lot of lot of obviously rejections from here. Like I mentioned earlier as well, yields are not flying. All right, they're not sorry, opposite falling. All right, yields are not falling off the face of the earth. If they were, they would have broken through this area. So this is where I'm a little bit timid, a little bit, not as confident. That's why I've kept all my targets, small. But yes, this is a very very reasonable target where it is. We obviously haven't had anything trigger yet, so let's wait and see. And I don't really like where it is right now. So unless you're scalping, it's not somewhere where I'm gonna be looking to push it. So yeah, let's wait and see. But yeah, I'm expecting dollar to struggle here. I actually think we might get this movement here where we kind of stay here for a bit until something happens, until basically the next week has to happen. Remember we were given two weeks of a ceasefire on Iran. So after that 2 weeks, that is when we're going to see gold break out of these areas. We're either going to be trading back down here if it starts again, or we're going to start to recover and start to creep up here. I think hopefully if this all gets sorted out, which is what we're all hoping. I don't. I'm just hoping it. I really, really hope so. So yeah, that is where we are at. Right, if there's no more questions, I'm going to end it here. Um, what time is your boot camp? Okay, okay. So I'm going to push it back. It's not going to be this week. So I want to make sure that it's a good one, and I want to make sure everyone attended can attend. So yeah, I will go. I will keep you guys updated on when it is. But yeah, it will definitely be happening. Obviously, we'll go through structure strategy in full detail. But no, have a great day, everyone. Have a great Tuesday. We're back. It's very 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 chill. this morning, which yes, it's not great not to be in a trade, but it is what it is. But this is where the gold copy kicks in. Smaller trades chipping away, and then obviously it'll be all good. So yeah, have a great day, everyone, and yeah, let's smash it. Have a good one, guys.